Look at any magazine cover today, and the blueprint for successful leadership is obvious. You have to be loud and hyper-visible. You set aggressive targets, bend reality to your will, and force results through unrelenting effort. But push that hard, and the system eventually pushes back. Teams burn out, projects fracture, and right as the finish line comes into view, on the very eve of success, the whole initiative collapses under its own weight. Tight, ambitious control actually creates the very friction that breeds resentment and eventually total chaos. Over 2.5 millennia ago, an ancient Chinese text offered a completely inverted blueprint for power. This is the Tao Te Ching. Its core argument is that true authority operates in reverse. These pages argue the most effective rulers were nearly invisible, stripping away complexity and managing empires by deliberately working from the bottom up. To harness that kind of frictionless authority, we must set aside our modern assumptions of control and decode 3 distinct paradoxes of Daoist governance. The first rule is the paradox of action. It suggests that a leader achieves massive outcomes specifically by taking almost no visible action. Modern management focuses on battling full-blown crises, putting out fires that are already raging. The Daoist discipline requires a totally different posture, guarding the minute. As this diagram illustrates, you don't chop down a massive tree, you pluck the tiny sprout it grew from. A tower of 9 stories rises from a small heap of dirt. A journey of 1,000 li begins with a single step. The rule is strict chronology. You take measures against a threat before it has given any indication of its presence. You secure order before the disorder has even begun to form. The moment you try to aggressively grab a situation to serve your own ulterior purpose, you instantly lose your hold on it. Brute force simply breaks brittle situations. The ultimate leader does no harm because they refuse to wrestle with large problems. They deal with reality at its smallest, most natural level, resolving the friction long before anyone else even notices it. That brings us to the second paradox, that governing a state with wisdom is actually a scourge. Look at these ancient bamboo slips. When the scribes recorded this philosophy, Chinese states were locked in political maneuvering, trying to outsmart each other with endless layers of cunning strategy. The Tao Te Ching advises making the people simple and ignorant by stripping away the complex, cunning micromanagement that leaders use to control every outcome. This chart maps the negative feedback loop of intellect. When a leader deploys strategic cunning, the populace responds with their own cunning, causing the system to fracture into erratic, conflicting trajectories of rebellion. The alternative is to abandon that intellectual arms race entirely, to cultivate what they call a mysterious excellence. Removing the friction of over-intellectualized control guides the people back to a state of unmixed simplicity, resulting in a massive natural conformity. The final rule is the paradox of position, gaining the absolute highest status by placing yourself at the very bottom. To explain this, the ancient sages pointed to geography. Notice how all those fast-moving mountain streams pour naturally, inevitably straight into the ocean. The ocean receives the homage and tribute of all those valley streams, purely because it has the skill to sit lower than they do. Translate this geographic rule to human communication. If a leader wishes to be above men, they must speak as if they are below them. To lead from the front, a leader must place their own ego and their physical person behind their followers. By removing the weight and threat of their authority, the leader creates a frictionless environment where the populace actively delights in exalting them. Acting on the microscopic, leading through simplicity, and positioning from the low combine into a single, unified theory of harmonious governance. These branching characters from early Chinese scripts represent a deeply rooted, ancient understanding of how human action naturally aligns, or collides, with reality. It culminates in the art of non-striving, the proof that enduring power is never about dominion or outsmarting opponents. This posture provides the ultimate defensive advantage. Because the sage does not strive, it is logically and physically impossible for anyone to strive against them. They become an unassailable, permanent force, absorbing every chaotic input from the world without ever losing their true form. Whether managing a massive organization or navigating your own life, enduring success comes not from fighting your way to the top, but from stepping back, staying grounded, and becoming the ocean.